Defend the castle. Hasn't the Crown Prince escaped yet? It's not that simple. The princess are too young to flee swiftly. In any case, we defend this place to the death. Hold until the signal bell rings. Here is the man who brought about this war. The Emperor of Galkhein, Arnold High. Here we go. Sir. I lived this life to the fullest, too. But next time, I'll... Rish Ungard Whitesnap, you are a devious woman unworthy of being the fiancée of a crown prince. Today, as of this moment, I annul my engagement to you. Very well, I understand. Hold on. I'm voiding our engagement. You must be worried about what will happen to you now. No, not in the least. What? If you'll pardon me. Wait! Rish? Where are you going? Listen to me. Once again, I've returned. I spent a whole week thinking about how I'd read off your list of crimes. Listen. Hey! You! Come back here. I already know how I'm to be treated. Halt! Rash! Listen to me when I'm speaking to you. After all, this is the 7th time I've relived my life. Even now, I can recall it clearly, my very first life. Whitesnap, you are a devious woman unworthy of being the fiancé of a crown prince. Today, as of this moment, I annul my engagement to you. WH what? You're breaking off our engagement. But why? You will be exiled from this kingdom. Crown Prince District, do you really mean what you're saying? I will now list your crimes. Crimes? We are a ducal house with an oath of loyalty to the crown. To think that you, my only daughter, would betray that oath. You should be ashamed, Rish. They're false accusations. Please, listen to me. Father, mother. My engagement was broken. My family abandoned me. With nothing but the clothes on my back, I wandered aimlessly. What do I do now? Is it fun staring at the grown like that, young lady? That's when it happened. That's when I met that band of traveling merchants. You look like you're going through a rough patch. This cart is headed to the next country over. Want a ride? You sure about this, Chief? You're a real pushover when it comes to beauties like her. Are these people merchants? That's true. Idiots. I've got a better eye for people than you think. Even in the moonlight, that silk shines with an impressive luster. It's Vishkulia Maid, isn't it? So you're from the Roy family, or maybe a duke's house. A noble young lady like you out this late can only excuse me. Would you buy this ring from me? We don't just buy and sell things. We find goods that set our hearts ablaze, that fire us up. And we sell them to the people who are just as excited about them as us. Both buyer and seller love the wares, and that's what creates the profit in the trade. That's our creed, the creed of the Arya Trading Company. That face. You just thought, that sounds like fun, didn't you? Aye. Your life's a blank slate right now, isn't it? Why don't you take this opportunity to embark on the path of a merchant? Me? I've never even considered it. You've been freed from your stifling destiny as the wife of a crown prince. You can go anywhere. You're free to do whatever you want. Free to do what I want. You have a good eye. And you possess the kind of amazing luck that led you to a friendly caravan like ours. If you become a merchant, I think things would get pretty interesting. How about it? Are you in? Yes, please. Teach me how to be a merchant. My first life. I learned how to trade under Chief Tully. Then I set out on my own as a merchant. I traveled the world, pursuing my newfound dream of visiting every country in it. And then, with just one country left on my list, I was swept up in a war and ended up losing my life. What Rish Island Whitesnap? You are a devious woman unworthy of being the fiancé of a crown prince. Today, as of this moment, I annul my engagement to you. Crown Prince District. What is all this? My dress and ring are just as they were that day. Is this but a dream? You will be exiled from this kingdom. It hurts. Does the dissolution of our engagement sadden you that much? I see. If this isn't a dream, then I don't have a moment to lose. Soon, they'll lock me out of the mansion. If you'll pardon me. Who? Wait. Bish, listen to me. I spent a whole week thinking about how I'd read off your list of crimes, but I've been given a second chance at life. You, come back here. The only regret I harbored about that night was that I wasn't able to bring more of my personal effects with me. If I'd had more seed money as a merchant, I would have been able to grow my enterprise more quickly. Now I just need to meet Chief Tully and everyone from the Aria Trading Company again. But by the time I arrived, the company's carts had already passed through. It can't be. Is this because I went back home and gathered my things? The pictorial herbal of foreign medicinal plants my grandmother left me. Unlike last time, I have money. In which case, I just need to decide what to do with it. In my second life, I sold my possessions, used the proceeds to cross the sea, and chose to study medicine. With information on where medicinal plants grew, and the knowledge of when epidemics would spread, I was able to put the experience I gained from my first life to good use. One day, I traveled to a kingdom in the north and saved a sickly prince. Your complexion is looking much better, Kyle. Thank you, Whitesnap. I feel so well today that I even surprised myself. It's all thanks to your medicine. I'm so glad. My life as a herbalist was filling and incredibly rewarding. But once again in my second life, just as it had been in my first, I was swept up in a war and died. Rish Ungard Whitesnap. You are a devious woman unworthy of being the fiancé of a crown prince. Today, as of this moment, I annul my engagement to... I understand and comply. Understand what? For my third life, I set my sights on something else, a specialized branch of study that I'd learned of in my previous life, and a genius scholar who specializes in it. For me, he was the familiar face of an acquaintance from my second life, Dr. Michelle Evans. No matter how perfect you believe your theory to be, it is only through repeated experimentation that you may draw a valid conclusion. Yes, Doctor. You really do seem to enjoy your research. Learning new things is so very exciting. It expands my horizons, and causes me to view even yesterday's sights in a whole new light. After that, the good doctor and I parted ways, and as I continued my research alone, once again, I was swept up in a war and died. From serving as a handmaid in a duke's household in my fourth life, to disguising myself as a man and fighting as a knight in my sixth life. In each life, I found a sense of fulfillment, and I enjoyed them all very much. But in each new life of mine, once 5 years have passed, I die without fail. Even when I didn't die from being swept up in war, I spent my days so busy I nearly died from overwork. And now, I find myself reliving my life for the 7th time. I want to spend this go-round taking it easy. And more than anything else, I swear I'll live a long life this time. Now that I think about it, up until this point, I've always left through the main entrance. But as I am now, this way will be quicker. I'm so very sorry. You certainly charged around that corner. Emperor Arnold Hein. You know who I am? This is the first time I've come to this kingdom. My name is Rish Ingard Whitesnap. Though this is the first time we have met, I must say that your reputation precedes you. Just now, you called me Emperor, didn't you? As my father, the emperor, still lives, I am no more than a crown prince, and yet, well. My deepest apologies, your royal highness. In my flustered state, it seems I misspoke more disrespectfully. However, my engagement has presently been annulled, so I am in a small hurry. I must take my leave now. A broken engagement? Wait. There. Has something happened? Oliver, ready my horse. As you command. What are you planning to do? This body has far too little endurance. He'll have to train all over again. What? I've spent a week planning it. It's my masterpiece. Prince District. It's Lady What? Out of the way. You let me pass. You took your time. Rish. You don't wish to hear your beloved, any speak more words of condemnation, I understand. However, it won't go as you wish. Bringing the hammer of justice down upon wicked women such as you is one of my duties as the future king of this land. Not only did I fail to make it in time, this is the absolute worst timing of any of my lives. If only I'd arrived later than in my first life, I might have avoided seeing his face again. It's just as I thought. At the soiree, you reacted indifferently to my proclamation, but it seems to me that you are deeply saddened at heart. Pardon, my annulment of the engagement has you in such despair that you don't know what to do. You've been walking, wandering, heartbroken. I can tell that much with a single glance. Your dress is covered in mud, and you gave wounds all over your body. To think that the grief of an engagement broken reduced you to such a state, are you stupid? What? Grief does not dirty a dress. More importantly, I am not sad that you have broken our engagement. WH what? Has the Crown Prince been spurned by Lady Rish? But Lady Rish wasn't the one who broke the engagement, was she? Still, the Crown Prince looks more hurt than she does to me. You're right. You there. You're being disrespectful. Nerve of you peasants. I am truly glad I did not have to spend any of my lives married to this person. Your Royal Highness, you are meant to protect and cherish your people. You mustn't speak like you just did. You are the one who needs to correct their demeanor. Don't you have any intention of asking for my forgiveness? No, not the slightest. In fact, I'm filled with gratitude to you for breaking our engagement. What? Don't laugh at me. That's right. You're so mean. Lady Rish, please don't hurt my precious Prince Dietrich any more than you already have. Lady Marie? Rish, you bullied my darling Marie and made her cry, didn't you? I've heard all about it. Did you think that a woman as twisted as you could become queen? Please, rest at ease. I will obey your decree regarding our broken engagement. I will never again show myself before either of you. What? Ever since I was a child, I believed that my position as a fiancé to the Crown Prince was all that gave my life worth. But I was mistaken. I can find my worth myself. Now that I know that, I have all I need. Who? What are you talking about? I do not require your presence in my life. Prince Dietrich. You're so mean, Lady Rish. Lady Marie. Whatever lies you may tell to frame me, I hold no anger toward you. Your marriage to His Royal Highness is for your family's sake, isn't it? How do you know that? But please don't forget, if your future isn't one you wish for yourself, then there isn't any point to it. One I wish for? Finding happiness for your family and finding happiness for yourself. You should be able to do both at once. Please lead a life where both you and your family can keep smiling. Now, the nuisance will remove herself. Lady Rish, all I have is the clothes on my back, just as I did in my first life. Apprehend now, where shall I go from here? Lady Rish, if you could wait for just a moment. As I thought, it seems you're quite the sword master. Where did you learn those sword skills? Arnold High. It's a secret, and my skills are not so great as to be deserving of praise from you. You were holding back with that strike, weren't you? Hey, who are you? Get away from Rish. Everyone, remain as you are. We mustn't move aggressively against the Crown Prince of Galkhein. The Crown Prince of Galkhein. The beast of a prince said to have single-handedly annihilated a troop of knights. Stop that. You'll be killed, too. Prince Arnold, may I ask what brings you here? I assume you didn't draw your sword just for sport. That's right. My sixth life ended at the hands of this man. One day, he will cause a war that will envelop the whole world. The war that causes my death. What? What are you doing? I apologize for my sudden discourtesy. I have something I wish to ask of you. Would you please do me the honor of becoming my wife? What? What? Your wife? Yes, me, become your wife? That's right. I respectfully decline. Why is he laughing like he's enjoying this? The Crown Prince of Galkhein proposed marriage to Rish. The man who killed me is proposing to me? It doesn't make sense. I don't understand what his aims are. It's the king. Why is the king here? Your Majesty, Father. Why would you come all this way? Father, the stones, Your Majesty. Prince Arnold, my idiot son has shown you unthinkable rudeness. Lady Rish, I truly apologize for the matter of the broken engagement. I offer you my heartfelt apology. I believe you have heard Prince Arnold's intentions, but I ask it of you as well. This trifling matter will cause no discord in the friendship between our nations. But if at all possible, I would ask for some time to speak with her. Please go with him, Lady Rish. Should you refuse, I will simply proceed to the next tactic. What exactly are you plotting? Nothing. I've fallen completely in love with you, that's all. Fallen in, with your engagement broken, you no longer have anyone backing you, correct? He's right. In my first life, I would have leaped at this chance. But as I am now, I know that life holds infinite opportunities. Still, the savage emperor, the invader. In all the lives I've lived, he's instigated a war. Why would he do such a thing? If I stay by his side, will I learn the reason? You say that you've fallen in love with me. That's why I proposed marriage. Then will you agree to a few selfish requests of mine? If it lies within my power, I swear that I shall make your every wish come true. First, everything needed for the marriage ceremony will be procured through the trading company that I specify. As you like. After we are married, please provide a space where I may receive guests from other countries. As the wife of the crown prince, you would be asked to do such things in any case. I would prefer to live separately from the emperor. If it's for you, I would do anything. Lastly, I have one more very important point. I will absolutely laze around the castle. I will loaf about, idle my days away, and do no work at all. Oh, additionally, I request that you lay not a single finger on me, please. What do you mean to do with that hand? You promised, did you? I asked you not to lay a single finger on me. Don't regard me with such content. I was simply trying to retrieve that which you took from me. I'm so terribly sorry. Slumped over with a sword for support? I'm amazed you could sleep like that. To think that I used the sword that impaled me in place of a pillow. It's incredible that you sent me without my touching you. To reach such level, you must have trained quite a lot. Yes, I did. I've invited the trading company you selected for a meeting. Thank you. The Aria Trading Company. There's been talk of that company lately. Do you patronize them regularly? No. I've simply heard that they procure very fine goods. I want to interact with them as soon as possible in this life, too. The devastating power of incredibly good looks. What is it? Oh, it's nothing. Stop the horses. Enemy attack. Am I you stay here and behave? There are knights here. Why would he go to fight himself? He told me to behave, but... Finished already. And when I took the trouble to face you by myself, too. This didn't even serve to stave off order. Arrest the brigands. Those with nothing else to do, see to the wounded. Sir! He hasn't killed them. Not a single one of them. What's wrong? Come in. Hurry! Are you all right? Hey! Is something wrong? My body feels numb. Poison is it? Off a spot between the wound and the heart immediately, then suck the poison out. Sir! A scent like that of an overripe apple. This is an anesthetic made of cheatgrass and blue-coat rock mushrooms. It's likely something that hunters in this area use. While it won't be fatal, the effect will last for several days. It will take another 2 days to reach Galkhein. If we look after them as we travel, then we pass a hunting settlement along the way. We'll return there and procure the antidote. Excuse me. I can make an antidote. What? It's lucky that I'm able to make this with the plants I have on hand. It's actually more effective if it's boiled, but as haste is needed here, let's use this. Could it be that they're suspicious of me? Hey! What are you doing? It's all right. Please don't worry. This antidote is made of licorice grass and luqua flowers with some carioca nuts. Please, make your decision. Will you use this medicine right now, or will you endure the numbness for the next few days? Right, Your Highness? I'm glad that nothing terrible happened. That aside, for what purpose do you suppose that you have guards with you? Rather than sustaining losses by having knights fight off the battlefield, stepping in myself better protects our national interests. And we did, in fact, sustain casualties. You say that with the benefit of hindsight. And the fact that you brought Lady Rish out here with you. That was not my doing. So, the flowers weren't simply to look at, they were for practical use. How did you get out of the carriage? It's a secret. In my life as a maid, my lady would often lock herself in her rooms, and every time, I'd have to unlock the doors. Is he a child staring at a line of ants? Is there something on your mind? I have no hidden purpose. I was simply thinking that you are unfathomable. What means will you use to entertain me next? I'm beside myself with anticipation. He speaks of me as though I'm some rare beast. I'm not doing this for your Highness' amusement. I know. One of the knights you pressured into your threat-like choice is someone who once lived in the slums. Galkhein extols itself as a meritocracy, but there are many who are unfairly judged due to their origins. Even so, he had never caved to outside pressures. He worked hard and became a knight. The knight with the worst case of numbness hasn't been assigned here for very long. He trained himself night and day for the sake of this mission. The older knight was trying to protect that new knight and was injured alongside him. He's a man who excels at looking after others. You know quite a lot about the knights. Because I've chosen all of them as my retainers. I thank you for saving them. I don't understand anything anymore. Is this a false face of his? Or is it? I simply made use of knowledge I happen to have. A noble lady who happens to have knowledge of herbalism? There can't be many of those. Now that I think of it, why were the knights so wary of me? They heard that you are a lady whose engagement had been broken. They've likely wondered what sort of villainess I'm marrying and have all sorts of notions. I see. Then, what did you say when you told His Majesty the Emperor about me? She's from a ducal house with connections to the royal family, and was fiancée to the crown prince. She's taken my fancy, so I've stolen her. That's what I told him. Stolen? Because the empress must be from the royal family of another country. You mean our hostage? In Galkhein, there may be those who behave rudely toward you. If the worst happens, I will, but that's splendid. What is? If I'm treated as a hostage, then I won't be brought out for official duties, will I? Well, I suppose not. Wonderful. That means I might actually be able to laze around. Thank you, Your Highness. It's nothing. Oh, and while I'm thinking of it, you were about to take my hand earlier, weren't you? That was unavoidable. A promise is a promise. Possessing fertile land and abundant resources, Galkhein influences every nation in the world. In all of my previous lives, it is the only country I've never visited. So this is the imperial capital. Is something the matter? Preparations of the Imperial Villa have been delayed. I'm sorry, but today you'll be staying in a room for noble guests. There's no need for such considerations. I will be quite happy in the villa. It hasn't been used in a long time. It's in a terrible state. I don't mind. Besides, I am a hostage. Why do you seem proud of that? This place certainly hadn't been used in quite some time. There's so much dust. Now then, shall we begin? The maid in me finds this quite exciting. Excuse me, Lady Rish. Is there anything that we might help with? I couldn't possibly ask my guards to clean. Then, at least allow us to carry in the furniture. Thank you so much. A few years from now, Arnold will kill his father, the Emperor. Then, the war will begin there. May not be much point to it, but I'd like to keep him away from his father. Why did he wage war against the world? In all of my life, the cause of my death has always been connected to the war started by Arnold. I am firmly opposed to war. And here's to a long life spent lazing around comfortably and without care. Are you seeing this? The novice is working so hard. No matter how hard you try, it won't work. We'll be chosen to be Her Highness the Crown Princess Maids. Are you all right? Yes, I haven't seen you before. She must be new. Look at how pretty her hands are. Unfortunately for you, the only ones capable of serving the Crown Princess are us, with our 3 years of experience working in the palace. Can you stand? Hey! Listen when we're speaking to you. If you intend to work as a lady's maid, learn to respect those with more experience. Those curtains. It would be better not to start washing them now. What? The days are long in the spring. There's enough time for them to dry. There will be a little rain later. What makes you so certain? The type of clouds. The birds are flying low too. If you wash large articles now, it might make more work later. Nothing a novice like you says could possibly be accurate. Enough of this, let's go. This nice weather is definitely going to last all day. Are you hurt anywhere? Thank you very much. My name is Elsie. Thank you for saving me. That's gotten dirty, hasn't it? And when they were kind enough to provide me with it, too. It will be all right if we wash it right away. I did say that it would rain, but that fabric dries quickly. Mud get deep between the thread. So please try tapping at it with this brush to wash it. Who are you? Come. We have to hurry before it starts raining. Traveling to see every country in the world. That was the dream I had when I was a merchant. In lifetime after lifetime, I tried to fulfill that dream. But it never came true. And now, the one country I was never able to visit. I finally managed to make it here. Should you really be doing this? Slipping away in the middle of your official duties? Truly, you surprise me every time we meet. I've suppressed my presence. To think that you could sense me at such a distance. That wasn't kind of you. I know you adjusted the strength of your presence, testing to see when I would notice. What were you looking at? The city. What, that large building over there? A library. Books gathered from every other country are held there for safekeeping. Every country? And that beautiful little tower over there? A church. It also serves as a clock tower. Its bells ring at appointed times. Oh, how lovely. And there's a large marketplace over there, isn't there? It's the largest shopping street in the imperial capital. The stalls there handle wares that they received just that morning. How splendid. Then, Your Highness, what about that pretty WH, what is it? I was wondering what you find so entertaining. You were pressured into a marriage to one of this country's royals. Would it really inspire such curiosity? It's something I've longed for. Longed for? I've wanted to come to this country for a very long time. The final push that made me agree to the marriage might have been that admiration that I felt for this country. This country doesn't possess anything worth your admiration or longing. That's not true. Even in the information you just gave me, there are so many fascinating places here. And the faces of people in town shine so brightly. And there's also, have I said something strange? I've never seen a person like you before. The substance of your statements, your knowledge, your physical ability. A simple nobleman's daughter would have no need of such things. You've been born to a duke's family. Your personal feelings are unnecessary. But, Mother, your happiness lies in marrying into the royal family and bearing an heir. There are things I wish to learn. If you have enough knowledge to maintain appearances in social situations, that is enough. Focus on the homemaking arts, not academic study. Even if others may deem such things unnecessary, I treasure every single one of them. They are riches which I will never lose, and each is a precious piece of my life. Whether something adds value or not in my life, I will decide that for myself. I know. You should do whatever you wish, without constraints. I swear to support you in your wishes and continue to assist you. Why? I told you. I've fallen completely in love with you. Lies as usual. And these immeasurable abilities of yours, I don't find them pointless. I find them delightful from the bottom of my heart. I thought I conveyed that much to you at least. Think of something you want. My agreement not to lay a finger on you. This time, I truly did break it. I can't read him at all. Arnold Hein. What are you plotting? Lady Rish, are you awake? I'm Prince Arnold's aide, Oliver. Yes. Just a moment, please. Thank you for waiting. My apologies. This is the only time I could manage to get away from the prince's office. Then, you haven't managed to get any rest? I'm better off than others are. Prince Arnold hasn't managed even a nap. He's been hard-pressed to complete the work that accumulated while he was away in hermity. I feel I should apologize. Not at all. The prince said he had no intention to marry, but through these events, he's found a lady to be his wife. Please look as much as you'd like. Pardon? You were examining me, weren't you? My apologies. That was terribly rude of me. Your insight is just as keen as the prince said it is. Master Oliver, your worry for His Highness truly is heartfelt. Have you been with him long? It's been 10 years. If you've served him for that long, then would you know why he has decided to marry me? Well, to be honest, I'm surprised by it as well. However, I've never seen the prince so happy. When he's with you, Lady Rish, his smile is so honest and open. I feel I'm being treated as some sort of toy. He isn't denying it. I didn't mean to get absorbed in conversation. His Highness asked me to bring you a list of the honored guests for the wedding ceremony. Thank you. Princess Harriet of Sigel. Duke Jonathan will be in attendance to represent the Kingdom of Domana. And Prince Kyle of Koilis. And this is a list of attendees for the party tomorrow evening. The party? Miss Diana, where do these go? Go and line them up the way I showed you yesterday, please. But I'm in the middle of something right now. It's Rish. Your Highness, may I have a moment of your time? Yes. Prince Arnold, I've come to beg something of you. You did tell me to think of something, didn't you? Think of something you want. My agreement not to lay a finger on you. This time, I truly did break it. Would it be possible to leave the selection of my maids to me? You can do as you like with that, but... It seems Oliver didn't tell you. This party tonight, it's meant to say, the Crown Prince is looking for someone to marry from the Empire. It's a pointless pretense held to keep up appearances. Your Highness, in this country, I am the Crown Princess only as a hostage. However, I find no dishonor in that. Please, feel free to formally reveal your fiancé at the party. I suppose I have no choice, especially as I've received your permission to touch you. Well, we are both wearing gloves after all. This seems to be a much grander event than I'd anticipated. This is still on the smaller side. The standards of a large country are different. Prince Arnold, I was honored to receive an invitation to attend this evening. Thank you for coming. Your Highness, please tell my daughter stories of your travels. Unfortunately, there aren't any points worth speaking of on their own. But I did find good fortune on my trip. As you can see, I found someone to be my wife. Did he say wife? His Highness is smiling, but he's never so much as glanced in our direction. Then, this beautiful lady is... Curiosity, jealousy, ulterior motives. Compared with having my engagement broken in front of everyone. This feels like nothing at all. I am pleased to meet all of you. My name is Rish Ermgard Weitzner. As my future wife has only just arrived from another country, she has no one to rely on here. I would like for you to help her. Of course we will. Future wife? There's no need to provoke the other ladies that way. It's better to make it apparent now, while we can. Make what apparent? The fact that I will protect you, no matter what happens. Protect? Did he just say protect? Arnold Hein? The man who killed me? Your Highness is probably the one who is most dangerous to me. In what sense? Well, I don't think I could match you in swordplay. It might be worthwhile for me to try sparring with you one day. I would like that very much. And I know it's asking a lot, but I'd love to receive training from you. You always reply in ways that exceed my executions. I may learn the attack method behind that fearsome sword technique. No need to force yourself to dance. Oh, but as I'm here anyway, I would like to enjoy myself. This closeness, it takes me back to the moment. Perhaps I'll try playing a little trick on him. If I take the lead, what will he do? Then, what about this? He looks like he'd like to say, no matter what you do, it's no use. He's so close, but he hasn't crossed over into my space at all. Wait! Now that I think about it, he's been. No. Back then, too, the whole time, he was. I'm going to fall. That was splendid. The two of you were perfectly in step with each other. It was as though I was watching a sword dance. Lady Rish, your dance earlier was quite lovely. Thank you. If you'd like, please accept this wine. Thank you, I will. That's the aroma of crushed red peppers. To think they play pranks with food. This wine has an unusually striking aroma. It's quite intriguing. Are you displeased with the wine I brought you? As I thought, it had a very stimulating flavor. It makes me very happy to have been welcomed in such a way. Let's go. That's spicy. Spicy? Your Highness, this wine has peppers in it. It's a special blend. You should just throw that away. No. This wine has lost its chance to be enjoyed for its flavor. The least I can do for it is drink it all. What? Wait. Spicy indeed. I did say so, didn't I? Has this fulfilled your duty to this wine? Yes. Thank you. What were you thinking about during our dance? What? You were thinking of someone other than me, weren't you? I can't tell him it was his future self. I was worried for your health, Your Highness. This spot. You've been wounded there, haven't you? The movement of his left shoulder is slightly clumsily than of his right. It was back then, too. It's an old wound. It runs all the way along the top of my shoulder. There's a spot where it slightly constricts my skin. How horrible. It's a very old scar. He was struck with a blade over and over, with killing intent. Only a few people know about this scar, and no one had ever guessed at its existence. Why do you have a scar like this? The night wind has grown colder. Do you think the ladies' maids will be chosen soon? Yes. But with the way things are, we probably won't be chosen. Haven't you finished yet? I am sorry, Miss Diana. I'm sorry. And those sheets this morning weren't folded the way I taught you. With skills like that, you'll never be chosen as the Crown Princess's maids. I'll help you. You again? I don't know which group you belong to, but I'm amazed that you have the time to help others. And all of you, finish that up quickly. It seems that the tablecloths for the villa will arrive today. If we help with that, I'm certain we'll be valued more highly. Let's go. Maya? Laura? Yes. I'm sorry. We're just so bad at remembering things. You haven't been at the palace very long, have you? NI1 gets everything right in the beginning. And it isn't that Elsie and the others are unused to doing laundry. They're completing their work. It's just taking longer, that's all. In that, Diana is right. But the cause of it is very clear. Have you heard anything about Miss Diana's life from before she came here? I think I heard that she's from a wealthy family that has several shops. I've heard that, too. But they lost it all because they went into debt. I see. It's sparklingly clean. When did that happen? I wonder who did the cleaning here. And that girl who always turns up uninvited isn't here, is she? An upstart newcomer like her? Indeed. To serve the Crown Princess, manners are absolutely essential. My heart's pounding. Is yours? Yes. What do you think the Crown Princess is like? Lady Rish is here. I am Rish Irmgard Weitzner. I'm sorry. I wanted to learn the truth about your situation, and I thought that speaking to you as a fellow maid was the best way to do it. Now, I will read off some names. Miss Marguerite, Miss Elsie, Miss Nicole, Miss Rosa, Miss Hilda, Miss Amelia. These people will be my maids. What? I look forward to getting to know you better. Now, everyone whose names have been called, come to the but why, Lady Rish? Everyone you've chosen is new. We have more experience as maid. Disrespect, it's all right. Yes, what I am saying is disrespectful. But please look at our abilities as maids. Miss Diana. Yes? As of today, you will no longer hold the position of maid. What? But that's... Say, Diana, when you first came to the palace, can you remember what you had the most trouble with? Were you able to complete your work the way you do now right from the start? No. In the beginning, it was difficult for me to understand how things were done. I couldn't remember after being told only once. But everyone who had been there longer was so busy. They'd say, I don't have time to teach you, so watch and remember. Even so, I've grown into a very competent maid. I'm not like those girls. You're right. There is one way in which you are very different from those girls. What? You can read and write. You were born into a merchant's family and received a good education, but there are very few ordinary people who have had the same sort of education. You could write down what those with more experience told you and read it again later. But what if you hadn't been able to do that? Go and line them up the way I showed you yesterday, please. But, and those sheets this morning weren't folded the way I taught you. When my family went bankrupt, we lost everything. There was no one to protect me. Even so, I made myself into a lady's maid. I kept wondering, why couldn't all of you do it? But it's because I didn't teach you properly. I'm sorry. I was the one in the wrong. I'm really so very sorry. Lady Wish, Miss Diana is very skilled, and she always works her hardest. Please don't make her quit. Thank you, but it only makes sense that I wasn't chosen. Miss Diana. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like to make this villa into a training ground for new maids. While they're learning household skills, I'd also like them to learn their letters. If they learn to read and write along with their work, wherever they go, whatever their situation, it will be an asset to them. Even if they find they must begin a whole new life, it's sure to prove useful. Diana, I'd like for you to help me create their teaching material. Me? Even though I said all of those disrespectful things? Why, whatever could you be speaking of? Will you help me? Yes, it would be my pleasure. I see. Is it as you predicted? Of course not. Through I did think she'd create some sort of havoc. Showing your amusement too openly is disrespectful toward your future wife. Through, I may end up enjoying myself as well. Wondering what sorts of things she will accomplish in this country. Oliver. I didn't bring Rish here to be my wife to benefit the imperial family or the nation. As for the first words they'll learn, what do you think about cleaning implements? Since they're used every day, I thought everyone might be able to see how useful it is to memorize them. Yes, I think that's a very good idea. Thank you. Lady Rish, thinking of the beat way to teach everyone is so much fun. I'm glad to hear that. Excuse me. Lady Rish, you must get ready soon. Yes. Then I'll take my leave here. I'm counting on you. Oh, Miss Diana? After dinner, will you help me study some more? Of course. Thank you. What a lovely dress. It's the most valuable one I have. Will you help me put up my hair in a style to match? Yes, my lady. I've heard that your guest is a merchant. Is your most valuable dress really necessary? Well, it's one potential ingredient, you see. Ingredient? After all, these are the people who drilled what it is to be a merchant into me. If I can gain them as allies, then my choices moving forward increase dramatically. The Arya Trading Company has only just been established. A business negotiation with the imperial family of Galkhein, that's something they should want to be successful, no matter what. Would dressing more gaudily make me seem more like a mark who loves to spend money? I think it's a shame. Putting your hair in a bun with some trailing tendrils would give you a refined air. I feel it would match this dress better. Thank you, Elsie. But this outfit is for my battle today. Battle? Your guest has arrived. Allow me to congratulate you on your upcoming nuptials. I am Kane Tully from the Arya Trading Company. I'm Rish Ermgard Weitzner. Thank you for coming such a long way to meet with me. This really is a lovely time of year. This is as impressive as I remember.
Lady Rish,
Just meeting his eye makes me feel like he's seen through me. But since I know him well, I should have the upper hand. In order to avoid the war, and to live a long life, I will have you lend me your aid, Chief. I'm sure you've already heard, but I want everything used in my wedding to be procured by Arya Trading Company. Well, you have no idea how much I appreciate such a statement. Then, would it be possible to see your wares right now? Lady Rish, I haven't a single item I would sell to you. Oh, pardon me. It seems you've misunderstood. However, it's just as I said. A lady such as yourself simply cannot become a customer of ours. May I ask why? The items which we are able to procure aren't in keeping with your level of resolve. Resolve? It seems that, for some reason, you're staking your life on this transaction. I've seen many different people in my time, but you seem to have a stronger resolve than any of them. This despite the fact that you're only buying wedding goods from a simple trader, you see? Well, it is a once-a-lifetime event. I've allowed myself to become over-enthusiastic. I'm so inexperienced. It's quite embarrassing. Please, rest at ease. I'm certain your wedding ceremony will be splendid. However, unfortunately, our wares seem to be inadequate to the task. Thank you for your offer. It's been an honor. Chief Tully. All else aside, Galkhein is quite an impressive country, isn't it? We're thinking of forgetting our work for a while and spending a few days enjoying the sights. Please wait. If we could speak a little longer. Farewell, beautiful future Crown Princess. Listen well, Rish. Become a merchant who can pick her customers. Offer wares or other value that they can only get through us. When you do that, then we're the ones who can choose our customers. I couldn't make the chief choose me, but I'll need his connections when the Aria Trading Company spreads across the world. Lady Rish? Why is the future Crown Princess working in a garden? Prince Arnold gave me this plot, so I thought I'd grow medicinal plants. Depending on how I mix them, I'll be able to make all sorts of medicines. I see. Still, was he simply being wary of me? He is a cautious man, but he also loves an all-or-nothing gamble. Have I overlooked something? We're thinking of forgetting our work for a while and spending a few days enjoying the sights. That's the end of my gardening this afternoon. Already? I'm going to rest in my room. I'll leave the guarding the halls to you. Yes, my lady. Still, are you sure about this, Chief? You're kicking a side away to make huge money from the Crown Princess. You dummy. If we took the lady on as a customer, we'd see heavy losses. Welcome back, Chief Tully. I can't drink anymore. You win, miss. I did think you might decide to visit us soon, but this? Then, that was an invitation after all. I'm honored. I'm astounded. To think you'd outdoing my men while you waited. Since they're such enjoyable company, the drink just kept flowing. Setting that aside, that dye has taken quite beautifully to your hair. My hair color tends to stand out a bit, you see. If I told you I'd sell you the method, would you be open to negotiations with me? I would never. After all, you've brought something even more lucrative, haven't you? And now, just as you wished, we will begin our negotiations. Let's start with a drink. Just one thing first. While we're here, please speak freely. When he speaks so formally to me, it sets me off balance. Well, if you insist. So, milady, no more of this I want to dress for my wedding charade, all right? Of course. It's obvious that trying such tricks on you won't work. Good. My intuition is telling me something. Lady Rish, it says that I should take you on not as a client, but as a trading partner. I won't help with a plan if I don't know the full scope of it. But don't worry, despite appearances, I'm very dedicated to my work. I can promise you whatever profits, no, even greater profits than you've imagined. Now, how about you spill every last detail of this money-making scheme of yours? I can't tell you. What? I can't tell you about my plan. Even so, I want the Aria Trading Company to become my ally. You say the most interesting things, milady. You want me to enter into a contract without being told anything, and it isn't even certain that I'll profit from it. This is the type of offer that traders hate the most. I will, of course, prepare compensation. You're telling me to just trust you when you say I'll make a profit? A fine idea. Within the next few years, the crown prince of this nation will wage wars on other countries, and I'm formulating a plan to stop him, but it's not as though I can tell him that. Listen well, milady, I trust my intuition a great deal. But what I regard as even more important is results, and a results and proof of performance, right? I will think of a business which will prove successful here in the capital. If you deem me worthy of your trust because of it, then may I ask that you reevaluate this decision at that time? I like it. You're saying that if your idea seems likely to turn a profit, you want me to acknowledge you. That's exactly the sort of thing I like. Yes, I know that very well. You have a week. I'm looking forward to this, milady. Then it's a promise. Thank you for your time. And when everyone wakes, please have them drink this medicine. What is it? I think you'll understand quickly once you use it. It isn't a simple thing to sneak out of this place. You were out late. Your Highness, why are you here? I heard that your offer of trade was turned down. It's a strange story. A simple trader rejecting a request from the future crown princess? I'm the one who said to spend your time as you like. That's why I believe it would be unreasonable of me to criticize your actions, so I awaited your return instead. However, so even you look like that when faced with a man alone at night. I am very sorry. Sneaking out of the villa alone at night is unbecoming of my position as your finance. If your reputation were damaged because I don't care about that. You're not hurt, are you? What? No, I'm not. From now on, whenever you visit town, I will go with you. What? I told you. You're free to do as you like. I also told you that I would help you in that. Oh, but I couldn't possibly ask your Highness to go along with my selfish behavior. I said that you're free to do as you like. I didn't say you're free to put yourself in danger. What is it? You're much too indulgent with me. Well, as it's you, if I try to restrict you by saying that you're never allowed to visit town again, you'd just slip out quietly again, wouldn't you? Even if it meant dyeing your hair. Giving permission with conditions attached seems more likely to work as a restraint. Am I really so easily understood? Not at all. You're the type that's so difficult to understand that I can't predict you at all. You're enjoying this, aren't you? You and the chief both. The chief? What has passed between you and the Aria Trading Company? Your Highness. Yes? Do you happen to be hungry? Your Highness? There's something I must apologize for. What is it? I'm terribly sorry, even though I'm the one who proposed it. I'm a terrible cook. I see. I'm very sorry. Well, it's unusual to find a noble lady who has experience cooking. In my past lives, meals were just time when I prioritized putting food in my stomach. I don't think this soup will suit your tastes, Your Highness. It's good, what? This soup will do just fine. I don't think he can tell good flavors from bad. You're thinking something disrespectful, aren't you? No, not at all. Thank you. It's your fault that I'm hungry. Let's hurry up and set out the dishes. Of course. Which is why I now have to propose a new business idea within a week. I understand. Which means? I said I understand. I comprehend what it is you want to do. You're not going to ask me what I plan to use the Aria Trading Company for? You kept that secret from the trading company, didn't you? Then, I can't imagine that you'd tell me. It's just as you say, but have you figured out this business or whatever you're thinking of? I have several ideas. It's just that I don't know if any of them will work. What kinds of people live in the capital? What sorts of things do they love? There's a mountain of things I need to research. You're saying this will be a difficult fight. Yes. You really are enjoying this, aren't you? You should do as you like. I have to get back. Yes, of course. Good night. Is something wrong? Have you met my younger brother? Your Highness's younger brother? No. That's good. If he approaches you, don't entertain him. Is there something I should know? There's no need for you to know. This town's population, its male to female ratio, and its age distribution are the minimum information I need. Changes in its economic development, the state of the surrounding regions, information on traders and travelers entering and leaving, too. I garden in the morning, check teaching materials in the afternoon, and I have to prepare for the wedding ceremony as well. I won't be getting any sleep or rest for a while. A midnight snack, you, my lord? What of it? Nothing. Lady Rish must be an excellent cook. She said she's terrible at cooking. You, it was good. Hey, is adding medicinal herbs to soup a standard practice? To soup? No, that isn't usually done. I see. Were you unable to get much rest last night? I was doing a little research. Please don't push yourself too hard. Lady Rish, please stand back. Let's return to your room. Black hair is rare on this continent. Lady Rish. Rish? Oh no. You are my older brothers. Pleased to meet you, my lovely older sister. Finally, we meet. I've sent so many letters saying I wanted to meet you, but my brother hasn't sent a single reply. Isn't that just mean? There's no need to be so tense. I'm Theodore. Theodore August Hein. I'm second in line to the throne and Arnold Hein younger brother. I've been told not to spend time with him, but... I'm honored to meet you. My name is Rish Irmgard Weitzner. A twist of fate has allowed me to fill the lowest position in the imperial family. I hope that we will get on well together. I was wondering, what are you doing out here, dead sister? This garden plot is one that I created. You made this? That's amazing. It's rare to find a bed so fluffy. But there is one thing bothering me. Will you look here for me? Is something the matter? See? Right here. Well, I want to save you. You poor thing. Dragged all the way to a place like this. You aren't truly a bride. You're a hostage. I'm aware. You are? Prince Arnold is more than satisfactorily considerate towards me. I see. I'm glad I was able to meet you today. He'll see you again. Second in line to the throne? That's not something you say as an introduction to your older brother's fiancée. This may seem apropos of nothing, but earlier, you didn't seem your usual selves. Do you have orders not to let me near his younger brother? That isn't something we would be able to tell you. Then, do the brothers get along well? We can't speak to that either. I'm sorry for asking such strange questions. Not at all. I'll have to deal with this matter eventually. But right now, my negotiation with the chief comes first. Don't make me repeat myself. Our military force will be turned to the protection of the people. The decision has already been made, ignoring the regional lords in order to tender-heartedly protect the commoners. What's the meaning of this? The nobility has their private armies, and the nation provides the funds to maintain them. You can say whatever you like. Your Highness, please reconsider. I can't say that your father will be pleased by this order. I will not argue with you. Know your place. I'll have separate notices sent to the lords. Notices? Our protecting the people just needs to end up being in their favor, correct? If our forces are turned to protecting the people and they are able to live in safety, they will ultimately lead to increased tax revenue, which should benefit the lords. If that's the case, then the lords will likely accept the change. This conversation is over. The indemnities gained through war are invested locally in revitalization and creating employment. This policy was created by Arnold Hein. He is forcefully introducing policies which benefit the people. He really is very different from the impressions I have of him from my past lives. Well then, good night. Good night, my lady. I will confide a secret to you. Be at the chapel tonight at 12. Arnold Hein. Good evening, Prince Theodore. Good evening, my lovely older sister.